I go round, I go round and I go round and I go round.
So once again, I'm not feeling that well. So if I sound a little off, nasally, whatever, I'm kind of sick. I'm just, like you would think, okay, yes, if it's -12 outside, any normal, sane person will leave the house in a coat. Obviously, me no. So that's why I'm sick. Stupid reasons. But basically, today we are gonna go over exciting book releases for 2024. I think I did this, I want to say back in September, or fall releases. And I was like, you know what? Like, let's just do a big thing, like, at the beginning of the year. And then, like what I did last year, do these, like, 24 books that I want to read in 2024. But have that, like, more, okay, what's on my shelf? Maybe a little of these mixed in, but it's, like, mainly focused on my shelf and stuff like that. This is just, like, these books are coming out. It's between January and I want to say July. Then I was thinking maybe in July do another of these videos for the second part of the year. Like, initially I was like, let's do it by seasons, but I feel like 2 big videos a year for this works better. Like, let me know what you think. I said a rambling and it made no sense, so if it cut out a weird place, I'm sorry. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you would like that or you want something more like seasonal. It actually kind of pisses me off because I looked through all the books that I wanted to read that are new releases, and I only found 23, and I'm like, if you had found 24, that would be so perfect. But I only found 23, and I'm like, it just irks me. It just irks me. Let's hop right into it. I have my laptop right over here next to me, so I'm going to be reading, I don't know if you call it a summary. It's a summary, right? Yeah, the summary of the blurbs on the back of the books. And you know what? Sit down, grab a snack, grab a drink. We're going to be here for a while. And once you have all of that, let's get into these exciting new releases in 2024. Let me think, there's room to pop up the book over here. So this first book gets released on January 9th, and it's The Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. Have I read The Atlas 6? Nope. Have I read The Atlas Paradox? Also nope. But I'm excited for this one to come out, absolutely. It's just one of those series that I really need to get to reading. And obviously I can't say like that much about it because it's book 3. But, interesting thing that's coming this year. The second book, I've actually read this author before. I love all of his books. This author is Alex Michaelides, and this book is called The Fury. I really like how the cover has like the evil eye. I have no idea what this book is about. So let's read the little plot. This is a tale of murder, or maybe that's not quite true. At its heart, it's a love story, isn't it? Lana Farrar is a reclusive ex-movie star and one of the most famous women in the world. Every year, she invites her closest friends to escape the English weather and spend Easter on her idyllic private Greek island. Girl, I wish I had a private Greek island. I tell you this because you may think you know this story. You probably read about it at the time. It caused a real stir in the tabloids, if you remember. It had all the necessary ingredients for a press It had all the necessary ingredients for a press, a celebrity, a private island cut off by the wind, and a murder. We found ourselves trapped there overnight. Our old friendships concealed hatred and a desire for revenge. What followed was a game of cat and mouse, a battle of wits, full of twists and turns, building to an unforgettable climax. The night ended in violence and death, and one of us was found murdered. But who am I? My name is Elliot Chase, and I'm going to tell you the story unlike you've ever heard. Oh my god. I love that. I love that. So on January 23rd, we have the Breakup Tour by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. I've never read anything from them. I know they're married, I want to say, and they just write second chance romances, also I want to say, together. Riley Wynn went from a promising singer-songwriter to a superstar overnight, thanks to her breakup song concept album and its unforgettable lead single. When Riley's ex-husband claimed the hit song is about him, she does something she hasn't in 10 years and calls Max Harcourt, her college boyfriend, and the real inspiration for the song of the summer. Max hasn't spoken to Riley since the relationship ended. He's content with managing the retirement home his family owns, but it's not the life he dreamed of filled with music. When Riley asks him to go on tour as her songwriting muse, he agrees on one condition. He'll join her and her band on tour. As they perform across the country, Max and Riley start to realize that while they hit some wrong notes in the past, their future could hold incredible things. Is it just me? Or, like, I don't know if it's just these books, but there are a lot of, like, missing words in this. Like, it does not make sense. You know, like, initially I was like, okay, I'm just, like, dumb and I cannot read. But no, like, the words are, like, it does not make sense. Because, yeah, I thought I was going crazy, but I'm like, no, like, this actually does not make sense with these words. But anyway, super excited to read this book when it comes out. I feel like it got so dark all of a sudden, so I kind of, like, turned on my ring light a tiny bit more. I hope, like, it looks fine. So the 2 last books that come out in January are both January 30th, and it's House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. Obviously, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I haven't read the other 2 books, and it's, like, the 3rd book in this series. I'm pretty sure this is a 4-book series. So just here it is. Once again, beautiful cover like all the other books. That comes out on the 30th, as well as Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. Once upon a time, teenage Aurora Evans met a hockey player at the Mall of America. He was from Canada, and soon he was a perfect fake boyfriend, a get-out-of-jail-free card for all kinds of sticky situations. He was just what she needed to cover her social awkwardness. He never had to know. It wasn't like she was ever going to see him again. Years later, Aurora is teaching kids dance classes and battling panic and eating disorders, souvenirs from her failed ballet career, when pro hockey player Mike Martin walks in with his daughter. Mike's honesty about his struggles with widowhood helps Aurora confront some of her own demons, and the two forge an unlikely friendship. There's just one problem. Mike is the boy she spends years pretending was her Canadian boyfriend. The longer she keeps her secrets, the more she knows it will shatter the trust between them. But to save the life she wants, she needs to tackle the most important thing of all, believing in herself. I feel like it's just like a cute little read. It's like a palate cleanser from like other things. It's also like little hockey romance. I love hockey. And the guy's Canadian. I love that also. So yeah, this comes out also on the 30th. That's all, yeah. So in January, there is 5 books that I feel are really worth checking out. I don't know if my camera was recording, so just in case, on February 13th, we have 2 books. One of them is Found Girl Down by Tessa Bailey, which is a sports romance. So Wells Whitaker was once golf's hottest rising star, but lately all he has to show for his promising career is a killer hangover, a collection of broken clubs, and one remaining supporter. No matter how bad he plays, the beautiful, sunny redhead is always on the sidelines. He curses, she cheers. He scowls, she smiles. But when Whitaker quits in a blaze of glory and his fangirl finally goes home, he knows he made the greatest mistake of his life. Josephine Doyle believed in the gorgeous, grumpy golfer, even when he didn't believe in himself. Yet, after he throws in a towel, she begins to wonder if her faith was misplaced. When a determined Wells shows up at her door with a will be his new caddy, there's definitely a word missing over there. Help him turn his game around and split the prize money. And considering Josephine's professional and personal life is in shambles, she could really use the cash. As they travel together, spending days on the green and nights in the neighboring hotel rooms, sparks fly. Before long, they're inseparable. Wells starts winning again, and Josephine is surprised to find a sweet, thoughtful guy beneath the gruff, growly exterior. This hot man wants to brush her hair, feed her snacks, and take bubble baths together. Is this real life? But Wells is technically her boss, and an athlete falling for a fango would be ridiculous, right? I feel like this has potential to be really, really cute. So I'm super excited. Like, I feel like Tessa Bailey, it's always like a hit or miss for me. Like, some books I love, others I'm like, meh. I feel like this one I will like. You know, I have high hopes for this one. And then, yeah, as I said, there's another book that comes out the same day, and that is, where is it on my list? That's The Catch by Amy Lee. In a last-ditch effort to rescue her brand from the brink of irrelevance, Boston fashion influencer Melanie Carlson finds herself in a rural fishing village on the east coast of Canada. The only thing scarier than nature itself, the burly and bearded bed and breakfast owner and fisherman, Evan Whaler, who single-handedly disproves the theory that Canadians are nice. After a boating incident lands Evan unconscious in the hospital, Mel is mistaken for his fiancé by his welcoming yet quirky family, who are embroiled in a long-standing feud over the B&B. In a bold attempt to mend family fences, Mel agrees to fake their engagement for 1 week in exchange for Evan's help with her social media content. Amid long hikes and campfire chats, reeling in their budding feelings for each other proves more difficult by the day, but is Mel willing to sacrifice her picture-perfect life in the city for a chance at a true, unfiltered love in the wild. This gives me It Happened One Summer vibes, but in Canada and East Coast. So I'm super excited for this. I have not read Emily's other books. I own both of them, just have not read them yet. I feel like whenever I do these videos, it's just like, girl, you need to start reading before like getting excited about these books. Like, will I buy this? Probably. Will I read it next year? Probably not. But yeah, this one, I can tell, like, I'm really gonna like this one. On February 20th, we have Till There Was You by Lindsay Hammeroff. Cover is actually adorable for this one. There's like the blueberry pancakes and stuff like that. Just like everything about it looks super, super cute. So I really hope I like this one, because this is like definitely a book you want on your shelf. Culinary student Lexi Berman, 24, has one goal: to make her late mother proud by becoming an executive chef at a Michelin star restaurant, and she isn't going to let anything or anyone get in the way. But when she meets Jake Taylor, a dive-bar musician who charms her with show tunes, she makes a rare exception to her no dating rule. After a steamy weekend together, Jake leaves for LA to record his demo, and Lexi never expects to see him again, and she definitely doesn't expect him to become an overnight celebrity with a breakout single that's almost certainly about her famous blueberry pancake recipe. As Jake's star rises and the world speculates about the subject of his song, Lexi keeps the affairs to herself. After all, she's finally found her footing at her new restaurant and even has a prospective romance with her coworker. But when a distraught Jake turns up at her doorstep late one night, her carefully laid plans are thrown for a loop. Though she and Jake try to be friends, things between them soon reheat faster than a bowl of Lexi's, oh god, batsa ball soup, I want to say. But a relationship with Jake means risking her face in tabloids, withstanding cruel internet comments, and worst of all, jeopardizing her career. As Jake's upcoming tour approaches and rumors swirl about him and another pop star, Lexi has to decide if holding onto her meticulously planned future is worth walking away from what could be the perfect recipe for love. This looks cute. This is cute. When does it come out again? February 20th. Okay, I'm definitely gonna be reading this during March break, and I really, really, really hope that I like it. On the 27th, there's A Faith Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. So I read The Bridge Kingdom, the first two books of that series by her, back, I want to say 2022, and honestly, like, I really liked her writing. This book, do I understand the plot? Not really. Like, the summary isn't really giving much, but since I liked her other fantasies, I definitely want to read it. I'll read it for you guys. Maybe you might take something out of it that I wasn't able to, but honestly, to me, like, does not change anything reading this. So this is a new series. I want to see if it says how many. Okay, it doesn't say how many books in the series yet, but let's go with this with this summary. Bound in an unwanted marriage, Freya spends her days gutting fish, but dreams of becoming a warrior and of putting an axe in her boorish husband's back. Freya's dreams abruptly become reality when her husband betrays her to the regent Jarl, landing her in a fight to the death against his son. Jorn, I want to say. It's like BJORN. Jorn. To survive, Freya is forced to reveal her deepest secrets. She possesses a drop of goddess's blood, which makes her a shield maiden with magic capable of repelling any attack. It was foretold such a magic would unite the fractured nation of Scotland beneath the one who controls the shield maiden's faith. Believing her destiny to rule Scotland as king, the fanatical Jarl binds Freya with the blood oath and orders Jorn to protect her from their enemies. I'm sorry if this is like really patchy, because I'm trying to like understand while I'm reading. Desperate to prove her strength, Freya must train to fight and learn to control her magic, all while facing perilous tests set by the gods. The grandest test of all, however, may be resisting her forbidden attraction to Jorn. If Freya succumbs to her lust for the charming and fierce warrior, she risks not only her own destiny, but the faith of all the people she swore to protect. You see, like, it doesn't really tell you much, but I liked Danielle L. Jensen's other books, so I'm definitely gonna give this a try. And I still need to finish the Bridge Kingdom series. Like, I don't know if she's still gonna do 6 books. I know 4 are out so far, but I definitely want to try to finish that before getting to this. And that marks the end of February. So for March, let's look at March. On March 5th, we have Murder Road by Simone St. James. July 1995. April and Eddie have taken a wrong turn. They're looking for a small resort town where they plan to spend their honeymoon. When they spot what appears to be a lone hitchhiker along the deserted road, they stop to help. But not long after the hitchhiker gets into the car, they see the blood seeping from her jacket and a truck barreling down Atticus Line after them. When the hitchhiker dies at the local hospital, April and Eddie find themselves in the crosshairs of the Cold Lake Falls police. Unexplained murders have been happening along Atticus Line for years, and the cops finally have two witnesses who easily become their only suspects. As April and Eddie start to dig into the history of the town and the horrible stretch of road to clear their name, they soon learn that there is something supernatural at work, something that could not only tear the town and its dark secrets apart, but take April and Eddie down with it. So this is a paranormal, I don't know if it's technically murder or what do I mean? What am I saying? Murder, a horror or thriller. I know I'm gonna love this. I know I'm gonna eat it up. So I'm super, super excited. So yeah, that comes out March 5th. Also on March 5th, we have a fantasy, Bloodguard by C.C. Robson. So this is the start of a series. And let's just check. Okay, it doesn't say how many books are gonna come out in this series so far. 100 years, tens of thousands of gladiators, and today one will rise. Leith of Grey thought coming to this new land and volunteering to fight in the gladiator arena vicious, bloodthirsty tournament where only the strongest survive would earn him enough gold to save his dying sister, and thought there was nothing left to lose. He was wrong. And they took everything, his hope, his freedom, his very humanity. All Leith has left is his battle-scarred body, fueled by rage and hardened from years of fighting for the right to live another day. Then Leith met Maeve, an 11 royal who is everything he despises, everything he should hate, until the alluring princess offers him the one thing he needs most, a chance to win the coveted title of Bloodguard and his freedom. But in a kingdom built on secrets and lies, hope doesn't come cheap, nor will his ultimate revenge. This is giving enemies to lovers, and low-key, like, the whole, like, gladiator thing, like, battle where only the strongest survive, kind of Hunger Gamey, but not really, kind of, like, reminds me of Red Queen, the, like, Queen Trials or whatever, something like that. Like, this has very high potential. When does it come out again? Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep on, like, asking myself that because I generally forget to talking about so many books. Yeah, no, this definitely seems like something that I'm gonna like. Then next, we're gonna jump to March 12th. So there's A Touch of Chaos by Scarlett St. Clair. This is the fourth book in her Hades and Persephone series. Haven't read that, but fourth book comes out March 12th. On March 14th, we have Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti. So this is, like, kind of, I don't want to say enemies to lovers because it's not like fantasy, but it's like, I hate you too. You're kind of cute. I kind of like you. Naomi and Luca have been pen pals since 5th grade, while more like bitter rivals caught in an epic battle of insults and verbal jousting. But what starts as a hilarious chain of hate-filled letters slowly develops into a friendship spanning coasts and years. That is until one day, years later, when the letters suddenly stop. It's been 2 years since Naomi last heard from Luca. 2 years since a letter that changed everything. But when a new envelope turns up out of the blue at her desk at the local news station, Naomi is determined not to let Luca have the final word. This kind of gives me, what's it called, Dirty Letters vibes. Like, that's what I get from this, and that's why I really wanted to put this on this list, because I feel like if you like to Dirty Letters, you're probably gonna like this. Obviously, I don't know the inside outs and everything. Kind of the same vibe, so I'm like, kind of like tickled my interest. Moving on to April, we actually have 3 books that are coming out on April 2nd. So first is The Rulebook by Sarah Adams. Nora Mackenzie's entire career lies in the hands of famous NFL tight end. I have no idea what position the tight end is. Derek Pender, who also happens to be her extremely hot college ex-boyfriend. Nora didn't end things as gracefully as she could have back then, and now it's come back to haunt her. Derek is her first client as an official full-time sports agent, and he's holding a grudge. Derek has set his sights on a little friendly revenge. If Nora Mackenzie, the first girl to ever break his heart, wants to be his agent, he'll let her be his agent. The plan is make Nora's life absolutely miserable. But if Derek knows anything about the woman he once loved, she won't quit easily. Instead of giving in, Nora starts a scheme of her own. But then a wild night in Vegas leads to Nora and Derek in bed the next morning married. With their rulebook out the window, could this new relationship be the thing to save their careers? So I've never read Sarah Adams, but I know everyone loves her. I actually have the cheat sheet. I need to get to that soon. I'm currently filming a video. I'll probably put that in for that video just to like say that I've read one of her books. But yeah, super excited. Also the cover. I like the cover, it's cute. This next one, I know it's an anticipated read for many people, and it's the reappearance of Rachel Pierce by Holly Jackson. So if the name sounds familiar, Holly Jackson wrote the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I've currently read book 1 and book 2, not book 3 yet, but I definitely want to get to it soon and then read. She has 5 survive, and then this. I think those are her only books outside of the series. But yeah, I love her writing style, and I'm very excited to see what this is about. Lights, cameras, lies. 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadows of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness, but she has no memory of it. Rachel is gone, long presumed dead, and Belle wishes everyone would just move on. But the case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agreed to a true crime documentary. Does this have to do with Pip? Belle can't wait for filming to end, for life to go back to normal. And then the impossible happens. Rachel Price reappears, and life will never be normal again. Rachel has an unbelievable story about what happened to her. Unbelievable. Because Belle isn't sure it's real. If Rachel is lying, then where has she been all this time? And could she be dangerous? With the camera still rolling, Belle must uncover the truth about her mother and find out why Rachel Price really came back from the dead. So maybe we might see Pip again with a documentary. I don't know if she's like, older now and it's more documentary than podcast, who knows? But if it's anything like the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, you're definitely gonna like it. So the third book that comes out on April 2nd is also a thriller called She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. So I just want to say this book, I love the purple on the cover. I feel like I don't have enough purple books. So that's something that I really, really like about it. But anyways, Megan Michaels is trying to find balance between being a single mom to a teenage daughter and working as a full-time nurse. While on duty at the hospital one day, a patient named Caitlin arrives in a coma with a traumatic brain injury, having jumped from a bridge and plunging over 20 feet to the train tracks below. But when a witness comes forward with shocking details about the fall, it calls everything they know into question. Was Caitlin pushed, and if so, by who and why? Megan has always tried to stay emotionally detached from her patients, but this time she mistakenly lets herself get too close until she's deeply entangled in Caitlin and her family's lives. Only when it's too late does she realize that she and her daughter could be the next victims. I feel like thrillers, I like when they don't mention too much in the back. It's I don't want to know the story going in. I just need enough to get hooked, and this hooked me. So April 9th. I love Leigh Bardugo. She wrote everything from the Grishaverse as well as the Ninth House duology. Ninth House has my heart. I love Ninth House. So whenever I know that she's writing another book, I'm like, yep, definitely gonna be pre-ordering that one. And this book is called The Familiar, and it comes out on April 9th. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but April 9th. In a shabby house on a shabby street in the new capital of Madrid, Luisa Cotado uses scraps of magic to get through, oh my god, my eyes are itchy, to get through her days of endless toil as a scullion. I think that's how I pronounce it. But when her scheming mistress discovers a lump of a servant cowering in the kitchen is actually hiding a talent for her miracles, she demands Lucia use her gifts to better the family's social position. What begins as simple amusement for the bored nobility takes a perilous turn when Lucia garners the notice of Antonio Perez, the disgraced secretary to Spain's king. Still reeling from the defeat of his armada, the king is desperate for an advantage in the war against England's heretic queen, and Perez will stop at nothing to regain the king's favor. Determined to seize this one chance to better her fortunes, Lucia plunges into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men and hucksters, where the lines between magic, science, and fraud is never certain. But as her notoriety grows, so does the danger that her Jewish blood will doom her to the Inquisition's wrath. She will have to use every bit of her wit and will to survive, even if that means enlisting the help of the Guillen Santarel. I don't know how to pronounce it. My 5 years of Spanish are not helping me right now. But yeah, an embittered immortal familiar whose own secrets could prove deadly for them both. This gives more like Ninth House vibes. Like, I feel like she kind of like moved away from young adults. She's going more to adults. Because also over here it says fantasy, historical fiction, romance, historical fantasy. So I feel like Ninth House, but more of a historical twist. Like, that's what I'm getting from that. And I'm super, super excited. Then the last book that comes out in April, I know everyone has been keeping their eye on this, and it's Funny Story by Emily Henry. So I feel like Emily Henry, I don't get the hype. Like, I love her writing, I just don't get the hype. Like, Happy Place, I enjoyed it. Did I think it was 5 stars? No. Do I see why people thought it was 5 stars? Not necessarily. But again, it's like, she's not a bad author. I generally like her writing. She's just more of a solid 4-star author for me. So let's see what Funny Story is about. Daphne always loved the way her fiance Peter told their story. How they met on a blustery day, fell in love over an errant hat, and moved back to his lakeside hometown to begin their life together. He really was good at telling it. Right up until the moment he realized he was actually in love with his childhood best friend, Petra, which is how Daphne begins her new story. Stranded in beautiful Warning Bay, Michigan, without friends or family, but with a dream job as a children's librarian that barely pays the bills, and proposing to be roommates with the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles Nowak. Scuffy and chaotic, with a penchant for taking solace in the sounds of heartbreak love ballads, Miles is exactly the opposite of practical buttoned-up Daphne. The roommates mainly avoid one another, until one day, while drowning their sorrows, they form a tenuous friendship and plan. If said plan also involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their summer adventures together, well, who could blame them? But it's all just for show, of course, because there's no way Daphne could actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex, right? That sounds so good. Her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex. I feel like this has more promise than her other books. I feel like this I'm going to enjoy so much more. I'm actually really excited for this. Like, Happy Place, I was like, I like the vibe, but I wasn't excited to read it. This, I'm actually excited to read. Let me think. Okay, we have 2 books left for June and 2 for July. So on June 2nd, we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. Hannah Grace, who's the mastermind behind, I want to say, the Maple Hill series. When procrastination lands him in a difficult class with his least favorite professor, Henry Turner knows he's going to have to work extra hard to survive his junior year of college. And now, with his new role as ice hockey captain, which he didn't even want, Henry absolutely cannot fail. Enter Hallie Jacobs, a fellow junior who finds herself befriended by Henry when he accidentally crashes her book club. Hallie may not have the romantic pursuit of her favorite fictional lead, but she's an academic superstar, and when she hears about Henry's problem with his class reading material, she offers to help. But being a private tutor isn't exactly ideal, given her own studies, job, and the novel she's trying to write. New experiences are the key to beating her writer's block, though, and Henry's promising to be the one to give them to her. They just need to stick to their rule book. Oh, and not fall in love. I'm excited. Anything that Hannah Grace will write, I will eat it up. I have not yet read Wildfire. I definitely want to get to that, like, ASAP this month. I'll be so mad if I don't read it this month, because I just love this world. On June 18th, we actually have 2 books, 2 from authors that I have experience with. So the first one is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. Lucy Foley, I feel like I only read 2 of her 3 books. The Paris Apartment, I like the vibe because I was reading it in Paris. And then I don't know if it's because I was like traveling, so I didn't have enough time to like sit down and fully immerse myself in it, that I didn't enjoy it as much. But then I also feel like I enjoyed it more because I knew of the locations that she was talking about, and I was like, oh my god, like I walked by there like 2 days ago and stuff like that. So I don't know how to feel about that, But then the guest list, I really, really, really like the guest list. So I haven't read, no, not the guest list, the hunting party. I love the hunting party. The guest list I have not read yet. So I don't know what to think about this one, but I'm definitely gonna give like this book a try and then decide from there, like best out of 4. If I liked most of them, then I'll continue reading Lucy Foley. If not, then she's just an author that I won't really gravitate towards. So let's just like read the little like thing in the back. I love how she keeps it so vague but kind of like shows you every player in the story. Let's see what's at the back of this book. Welcome to the opening weekend of The Manor, a luxury resort built on top of old secrets and an ancient wood. The founder, the lover, the mystery guest, the kitchen help, the detective, all have an agenda, all have a past, but not everyone will survive the midnight feast. I love how she writes stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know, like we'll see what I think about it, but I definitely, this is at least, I'm gonna read this book to then judge how I feel about Lucy Foley. This one I know absolutely nothing about. I just saw this author's name and I was like, oh my god, he's releasing a book in 2024. Yes, I want. So this is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I read, my first book from him was The House Across the Lake and I loved it. It was so good. Then I read Survive the Night, which I don't see why people don't like it because I actually enjoyed it. Like it was kind of like cheesy and stuff like that, and like yeah, the main character wasn't the smartest, but she was also very self-aware. So I don't know, like I feel like I like him as an author. I haven't read his other books, but this one I was like, again, I don't know what it's about, but I was like, Riley Sager, I'm buying it. The worst thing to ever happen in Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. One July night, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor, Billy, fell asleep in a tent set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet and quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. He was never seen again. 30 years later, Ethan has reluctantly returned to his childhood home. Plagued by bad news and insomnia, he begins to notice strange things happening in the middle of the night. Someone seems to be roaming the cul-de-sac at odd hours, and signs of Billy's presence keep reappearing in Ethan's backyard. Is someone playing a cruel prank, or has Billy, long thought to be dead, somehow returned to Hemlock Circle? The mysterious occurrences prompt Ethan to investigate what really happened that night. A quest that reunites him with former friends and neighbors and leads him to the woods that surround Hemlock Circle. Woods where Billy claimed monsters roam and where a mysterious institute does clandestine research. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I just like died there for a second. That institute, that is interesting. The closer Ethan gets to the truth, the more he realizes that no place, be it quiet forest or suburban street, is completely safe, and that the past has a way of haunting the present. Yes. My camera's gonna die soon, so I just want to speed through these last 2 books, and these 2 are coming out in July. Actually both July 4th. So the first one is Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ritchie. If the name sounds familiar, they were the ones who are behind the Addicted and Calloway series. Have not read that yet. I am so mad at myself for not getting there yet, but definitely gonna get into that at least before summer. Fingers crossed, at least before summer. Phoebe Graves grew up in a family where deception and seduction are as commonplace as breathing. The Graves and her best friend, Haley's family, have been on the run their whole lives. But after a high-stakes con job goes south, Phoebe and Haley decide to run away and start over. The small Connecticut town they settle in seems to be too good to be true. The biggest flaw in their plan is Haley's frustratingly handsome brother, Rocky, who insists on coming with them. Living honestly isn't in his DNA, and his past with Phoebe is downright messy. He's everything she wants, but nothing she can have. Phoebe worries that Rocky will tempt them back to their old ways, where lying is second nature. She doesn't want Rocky to mess up the new life she began for herself. The longer she stays in town, the more she realizes what it means to have a reputation, and what a normal life with a man she loves could look like. I don't think it's like mafia, but it's like crime family, so that's an interesting twist. And the cover, I really like the cover, so I'm super interested to dive into that. And that was book number 23. So that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was kind of like messy. I was kind of like rediscovering the summaries for these books in the minute, and a few words were missing, so I'm very sorry if the reading was like a tiny bit off. Try my best. But yeah, if you guys are interested in more bookish type content, definitely hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoy these videos. Also, all my socials are linked down below if you want to go, oh my god, if you want to go check me out. I feel like, you know, when you feel like a bubble of air stuck in your throat, yeah, if there's anything that I missed, definitely leave it in the comments down below so we can share with everyone our anticipated reads of 2024. And that's pretty much it. So I hope that you guys set high but realistic reading goals for this year. Like, realistically, am I still gonna try to aim to read 100 books? Yes. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm still gonna aim high, you know? Like, I feel like it's better to aim like a little bit higher than which you think you can do, to like motivate yourself but not like too much, you know? Like, if I were to say 110, it would be like absolutely not, like no. I'm thinking, do I want to do a new intro for my 2024 videos? I don't know. I mean, anyway, like, let's keep it simple like we did before, then I'll see if I want to like spice things up. But anyway, so stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.